Hello, and welcome to another episode of CGN Live. I am your host today, Taylor of Taylor Talks Comics. Are we live? Hold on, sorry. Gotta make sure. Okay, it's working. Thank you for joining me. Like I said, my name is Taylor of Taylor Talks Comics. I am the host of CGN Live today, the official YouTube channel of Cheap Graphic Novels, which is the best place to order your comics and graphic novels. cheapgraphicnovels.com. And this is our weekly live show where we talk about all the great comics and graphic novels we will have on sale the following Monday evening. So all the books we talk about today will be on sale Monday evening, August the 7th. So you can look forward to that. You want to follow us on social media at CheapGN on YouTube and Instagram. And also on Facebook, you can just search for Cheap Graphic Novels. You want to do that because you don't want to miss out on any posts for any sales that are going on, books that we have on sale. On Monday evenings, I make a post the second that the books are ready for to be purchased by you. So you don't want to miss out on any of that stuff. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you're in the chat, please say hello. I'd like to talk to you guys. That's why I do these live, is so that I can talk to the fellow devotees of cheap graphic novels. So don't hesitate to say hello. Let me know what comic books you've been reading lately. Let me know what comic books you're looking forward to coming out. And this week, I've been trying to do this too, because I always ask you guys what comics you've been reading. So I'm going to let you guys know what comics I'm reading. Lately, I've been reading JLI Omnibus Volume 2. And it's the first omnibus last year. I read that, and it was my favorite read of all of 2022. And the second volume I'm finally getting into. I was kind of hesitant. I was kind of afraid to dive into Volume 2 because I didn't know if it'd live up to my expectations, but it definitely has. It's just as good. It's great comfort comics, just awesome stuff. So let me know if you guys have read JLI or if you have not. But let's go ahead and get to the books that will be coming out next week. Share my screen here. Make sure it's in the format that I like. There we go. All right, so we have 38 books to talk about today. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions about CGN, any books, if you want to ask if we have any certain books in stock, if you want to ask when certain books are coming out, that sort of thing. Any questions like that I can answer. If it's a question specific to your order, like where are your books or anything like that, I cannot answer that because I'm actually not at the CGN warehouse. I'm located, the CGN warehouse is located in California. I'm in the Midwest, so I'm pretty far away. Up first, we have the Michael Golden's Marvel Stories Artist Edition. Michael Golden, if you don't know, is a remarkable artist. He had a short stint with doing Marvel Heroes, but he also did a lot of Micronauts issues, and he did some Batman stuff. But this collects Spider-Man Hulk from Marvel Fanfare 47, Doctor Strange 55, Avengers Annual 10, and covers galore. So it looks like it includes 3 total issues and then a lot of other original art pieces in here. These artist editions are massive. They're usually done true to the size of what the art was drawn on. So if an artist draws on 11 by 17 paper, which is usually the standard, some artists draw on different sizes, but usually 11 by 17, then this book will be 11 by 17. So it's as if someone had all the original art of Michael Golden and compiled it into a book for you to flip through. And it's really cool too when they have a complete story in there with every page in it, because then you can read that story through the original art, which is just a whole nother experience. But it'd be $104.99. So they are expensive, but they are big, and the presentation's worth it, I promise. If you are a Michael Golden fan, you will not be dismayed by spending that much money on that book. We have some more people trickling into the chat. Say hello if you're here, please, please, please. Up next, we have Batman Detective Comics by Peter J. Tomasi, omnibus hardcover. This is the placeholder image. The actual cover has come out. I could show you a picture of that if anybody cares to see the actual picture. It was also in the weekly newsletter I posted. This was one of my top 5 picks if you subscribe to the newsletter. This is written by Peter J. Tomasi, but has artwork by Doug Minke, Brad Walker, Kyle Hotz, Jamie Mendoza, or Jaime Mendoza, maybe. It'll be $89.99 if you order through CGN. It's 40% off the cover price, which is $150. And this includes Tomasi's entire Detective Comics run. So it doesn't omit 2 issues that he did not write. So it has 994 through 999. 994 through 999. It omits 1000. I guess it collects one story from 1000. This doesn't have the entire issue. And then 1001 through 1016. It omits 1017. And then 1018 through 133. So all the Peter J. Tomasi issues are there. And also 2 annuals and another story from Detective Comics number 27 from New 52. So if you're a Peter J. Tomasi fan, and I did see the spine matches the same kind of motif that you see on the Super Sons Omnibus, the expanded edition, and then the Superman by Peter J. Tomasi, and the Batman and Robin by Peter J. Tomasi and Patrick Gleason. All the spines kind of match on those, which is really cool. The Green Lantern Corps Omnibus does not, though. That's like the one that changed up on that. And then we're talking about Absolute Preacher Volume 1. Wait, hold on. Sorry, I've got a request to share the link of the video. We got some people want to join the chat here. Yes, so Absolute Preacher Volume 1. This is the 2023 edition. This will be $89.99 if you order through CGN. That's 40% off the cover price. This is a 3-volume set. A Preacher, and the Absolute editions are real nice looking. The spines look like they're like an old Bible, leather-bound Bible almost is what the spines look like on your shelf, which is perfect for this very blasphemous series. This is an old Vertigo series by Garth Ennis and Steve Dillon. It's got Glenn Fabry on all the covers. And this collects issues 1 through 26 in this first one. And then I think Volume 3, we might have Volume 3 in stock, actually. Oh, we have Volume 2 and 3 in stock, if you scroll down here. So if you want to pick up all the omnibuses, or all the absolutes for Preacher, we'll have Volume 1 in stock on Monday, and Volumes 2 and 3 are also in stock. So you can get the whole set there in one fell swoop. All right. Looks like I'm here just in the nick of time. Preacher, greatest comic of all time. Absolutes are 10 out of 10. Yes, I know Coley. Yes, he calls Preacher his favorite comic book of all time, or the greatest comic book of all time. Not even just his opinion. And he has all the absolutes. He upgraded last year, I believe, and he says the upgrade was worth it. Pal Coley would have loved this. Oh, he's here. Okay, but he's stuffing himself with food somewhere in Wigan. I lost the gluttony, but he's here. Coley is here. And then we have another reprint. This one is the Amazing Spider-Man Volume 4. This was a massively wanted reprint because Volume 1, 2, and 3 were reprinted last year. And then Volume 5 came out last year. So Volume 4 was like the only one people were missing that were like just now jumping on the bandwagon of these Amazing Spider-Man omnibuses. And this one has 2 awesome covers, but I have to go with the classic here. And this is the only one I'm missing, so I'll definitely be getting this. But this has a lot of work by Ross Andrew, who is my personal second favorite Spider-Man artist of all time. I'm a huge fan of Ross Andrew, but also has artwork by Gil Kane and John Romita Sr. Jim Starlin and Paul Reinman are also credited. This is the Stan Lee written stuff, and then he passes the baton on to Jerry Conway. And I think this is the one that includes the death of Gwen Stacy. Is that in this one? Yeah. So I think it's got the death of Gwen Stacy. And then the fallout after that. So it includes Amazing Spider-Man 105 through 142, Giant Size Superheroes #1, and Marvel Superheroes 14. I'm going to check real fast. I'm 120. Okay, yeah. So this definitely includes Death of Gwen Stacy, but also the Return of the Punisher with this awesome cover on the front. That's the DM cover, which is the direct market exclusive. And the cover is exclusive to the direct market, which that just means comic book shops. But the standard edition cover is by Michael Cho, and it is a work of art. It's an amazing piece here, kind of telling the story of the death of Gwen Stacy a little bit in that one piece of artwork. And I don't think this picture does it justice to. There's a lot of like detail and cross hatching on the feathers there, on the death image in the background, and kind of just a really cool image by Michael Cho. And that'll also be $74.99. Doesn't matter which cover you pick, $74.99. No, Steve Ditko's my number one, of course. Steve Ditko's number one, and then Ross Andrew. And then to do my top five, it'd be Ditko, Andrew, McFarlane would be up there. He definitely has to make my list. John Romita Sr. would probably be up there too. But I prefer Ditko over Sr. And then rounding out my top five. Let me think about that. I just made that my own little challenge there to do a top five. Who are your favorite Spider-Man artists in the chat? Let me know. Then we have the Dementia 21 softcover box set. This is by Fanographics. And if you are into weird, surrealist horror manga, I can't implore you to pick this up enough. It's by Kago. Just a one named artist and writer, the manga Kago. It's by Fanographics. It's 2 softcover volumes and 1 slipcase. And they're thicker softcovers, though. I think they're like, I want to say 200 to 300 pages each. And the softcovers are beautiful. Like they've got nice, like really thick flexi cover to them. It's not cheap, your normal cheap paperback by any means. But Shintaro Kago, which I guess maybe they're known by 2 names sometimes, but it's just like this really weird, like far out surrealist horror. The cover image there shows you like his art style, but like he gets into some weird stuff. And weird surrealist horror is like my favorite kind of horror. So I have this set already. I don't have the slipcase. I have them individually, and I love this book. So I implore anybody to try this out. It is definitely out there, though. I don't want to. It's not for everyone, but if it's for you, then it's definitely your cup of tea, and you're gonna love it. But it'll be $44.99, 25% off the cover price if you order through CGN. Liefeld ever do Spidey? He is my favorite artist. Not. Liefeld did do stories with Spider-Man in them. I don't know. I don't think he ever did any issues. He didn't do any Amazing Spider-Man or Spectacular Spider-Man or anything like that. But he definitely did stories with Spider-Man in them. And I like his Spider-Man, though. He has a really cool kind of dynamic Spider-Man. And I know you're not a Liefeld fan. I know you're kidding. And I'm a Liefeld apologist. I love Liefeld's work. But I feel like he could have done a good Spider-Man if he had like a longer run on it. Oh, Dementia is a manga. Yes, it's definitely a manga. It's read. I always get this wrong. Right to left, and but it's fun stuff. It's really weird, trippy, surrealist horror. I can't emphasize that enough. Overstreet, big Overstreet price guide, volume 53, softcover. That'll be $44.95. Artists in Taiwan. What is this? By Clover Press. It'll be $37.49, 25% off if you order through CGN. Artists in Taiwan features 83 of the finest artists in Taiwan, with a cover by Vofan, an illustrator with an impressive mastery of the use of intense light and shadow. Additionally, this volume includes a conversation between Vofan and Sei Hana, discussing their work. Other artists featured are I Reading, Loiza, BCNY, Kanking, and more. That'd be a really cool art book to have, just because I don't know any of those artists. It'd be a cool way to. It'd be like a good anthology where you learn a lot of different new names you've never heard before. Oblivion Song, the compendium. Is this a cover art book? No, I think it's just like an art book. It probably shows like samples of different artwork by each artist. I assume that's what it sounds like. Oblivion Song Compendium. I believe this isn't all in one, but it's the Robert Kirkman and Lorenzo De Felici comic book. The compendium will be $34.99, which is 30% off the cover price. Yes, and it is all in one. It collects all 36 issues of Oblivion Song. The entire series. A decade ago, 300,000 citizens of Philadelphia were suddenly lost into oblivion. The government made every attempt to recover them, but after many years, they gave up. Nathan Cole won't. Nathan Cole won't. It's like a typo there. He won't. He makes daily trips, risking his life to try and rescue those still living in the apocalyptic hellscape of Oblivion. I have not read this. I've heard good things about it. I think Coley, if you're still in the chat, is a big fan of Oblivion Song. Or is it the other Kirkman series that starts with an O? Outcast? What's that one called? I don't know. Simpsons Treehouse of Horror, Ominous Omnibus, Volume 2, Dead Time Stories for Boys and Ghouls. This one is a must-buy for anyone that's a fan of Simpsons, anyone that's a fan of like comedic horror comics, or a fan of old EC comics, because that's definitely what this is done in the style of. So if you're familiar with the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episodes, which are amazing, like every year, even still, I know people are always like, Simpsons stopped being great after season 10 or whatever. The Treehouse of Horror episodes are still a must-watch every year. But those are always like a spoof or parody of a famous horror property or horror movie or whatever. These are kind of like the same thing, but in comic book form. So they really kind of take on this EC Comics homage of doing like these 5 to 8 page strips, horror strips with the Simpsons characters, but it has like a litany of amazing creators in here. Like I collected these in the trade paperbacks back in the day, and I always wanted to like custom bind them or collect the single issues. I never thought a collection like this would exist. Actually, if you go on Taylor Talks Comics, my YouTube channel, I have a overview of the first volume, and it is a beautiful presentation. When I found out that Disney had the rights to Simpsons, I always thought, well, then through Marvel, I hope that they kind of take the Bongo comics, the old Simpsons comics, and put them in omnibuses. I have to say, though, I'm glad they kind of farmed this out to Abrams Comic Arts, because their presentation of that first volume is just incredible. It's a slipcase. It's glow in the dark. It's beautifully, beautifully designed. Inside the slipcase is like this wraparound cover. It's awesome artwork. And just let me name off some of these creators that you'll see in here, because it kind of blows my mind, the people they have involved. Kyle Baker, Dan Brereton, Jerry Duggan, Peter Cooper, Terry Moore, Steve Niles, Brian Posehn, James Robinson, Scott Shaw, Jim Woodring are in there. Evan Dorkin was in the first volume quite a bit. Just like a kind of a who's who of like big name comic artists. This is volume 2, and there will be a third volume that'll round out the entire series. And this will be $31.99 if you order through CGN next week. You can get it and have it in time for Halloween. Outcast. Yes. Okay. I know it was a book by Kirkman that started with an O. Read one trade of Oblivion, so might get this. Yeah, the compendium's a cool format. I kind of have been embracing it since DC and Image keep it going. So yeah, I like it. Daredevil Epic Collection Into the Fire. This is not a reprint. This is a new volume. And it's got the DG Chichester and Scott McDaniel era of Daredevil, which is in the 90s. It'll be $29.99 if you order through CGN. Collects Daredevils 312 through 318, Annual 9, and a couple. Whoa, wow. Hold up. Daredevil, Black Widow, Abattoir, but also Daredevil, The Man Without Fear 1 through 5. So the Frank Miller and JRJR series, Man Without Fear 1 through 5. If you don't have that, if you've never read that 5-issue series is amazing stuff. It's some of my favorite JR artwork. I'm a huge fan of John Romita Jr. And so is Max, by the way. Max that owns CGN. He did a live on Instagram a few weeks ago, and I didn't know this about him. That he said that John Romita Jr. is his all-time favorite artist. So I know he's got to be a big fan of Man Without Fear. So if you never read Man Without Fear, pick this up and try it. Maybe there's some other stuff in here that you'd like. Maybe it could be your first Daredevil Epic collection, but that'll be $29.99 if you order through CGN. My only companion problem is spines get bent easy on softcover format. I agree with that, but it does seem like they're making them a little bit better, especially the DC ones. I've seen other people not have this issue, and I haven't had an issue with them wrinkling or bending at the spine, or having like the big crease in it. So I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they're just putting like thicker spines in there or what they figured out. But I think that problem's been solved. I think 2023. All right, sorry, I lost you for a second there. I accidentally hit the the wrong back button on the wrong tab there. I'll get to the books in a second here. My only Man Without Fear is excellent. Hoping for a gallery edition. Yes, that would be awesome. Daredevil has so many great stories that could be in gallery editions. Like, and they've done a few of them already. I think Man Without Fear would probably be the next big one they could do that hasn't they haven't done yet. I had it with my Invincible Compendium. I don't have those, but I think that the probably would be the format I would try Invincible out in, because I have never read Invincible. I know it's a shame. It's blasphemy. No, I fixed it. We're good. But I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't get the Invincible Compendium then, if that's a problem. All right, let's go back to sharing my screen now that I'm back and can figure out how to do this properly this time. All right, we're good. Lazarus Deluxe Volume 3, 2, and I think we have 1 down here as well. Don't we? No? Is Volume 1 not coming out this week? All right, looks like we just have Volume 2 and 3 then. Volume 1 must be coming out a later week then. Interesting. All right. Regardless, so these are reprints, and they're coming out in time for a Volume 4 to come out, but this is the Greg Rucka, Michael Lark series, a series that has been widely touted as being amazing. It's been cited as having like one of the best like world building aspects of any comic people have read. But these are the oversized hardcover deluxes, $27.99 for Volume 3. Volume 2 will be also $27.99 if you order through CGN. Volume 1 will be coming. I don't know why it's not on the same week. They must have pushed that back for some reason. And then Volume 4 will be coming out later this year as well. So pick all those up and you have all 4 volumes. Thor Epic Collection Immortal Flesh. This is a new printing. So if you have not had this already, you want to pick this up. This will be $26.99. And I think this is 90s era Thor. Yes. Okay. So it's got Thor 401 through 418 and annual number 14. This is volume 17 in the Thor Epic Collections. Rucka stuff is good. I agree. I've not read Lazarus though, so this will probably be my first time reading it, and I'm excited because I've been wanting these books to come back into print for the purpose of reading them because everyone loves that series. Persepolis 20th Anniversary Edition hardcover. This is a very famous I was about to say manga. Sorry, very famous graphic novel series by Marjan Satrapi. She's the writer and artist. It was made into an animated movie, I believe. And then also, this is like up there cited with like Mouse by Art Spiegelman as being like a great historical graphic novel that kind of shows you the good and the bad with life of different cultures. So if you're a fan of Mouse, I would definitely try this one out. It's printed by Pantheon Books, which is a great publisher. I have a lot of books from them by like Dan Klaus and Charles Burns. I just got another book by them recently. What was it? They did the Sammy Harkin book, right? Blood of a Virgin. But this is the 20th anniversary hardcover. So if you're not read Persepolis and you want a good book that's been won a litany of awards and it's up there with Mouse, and it'd be $26.25 to purchase this one. I thought it was great in the beginning, felt a bit rushed after the regular series ended. You're talking about Lazarus, I'm assuming, because it did spin off into a couple miniseries and whatnot, right? This is a book I'm super excited about. Shaolin Cowboy, Cruel to Be Kin by Jeff Darrow. He's the writer and the artist on it. If you've never read a Jeff Darrow comic, it's an experience. His work is like, he's highly inspired by Moebius, the French cartoonist who did like the Incal and stuff. But his artwork is just like highly detailed. He has the clear ligne, the clean line style. It's also famous with the French cartoonist of like Moebius and Hergé. But Jeff Darrow also did a couple series with Frank Miller, like Hard Boiled and Rusty the Boy Robot. But this one is his own series that he writes, and this is the 4th volume of these. And these are like oversized, like they're the same trim size as like library editions, but they are thinner. Like it's only like 100, 200 pages, if that. And but they're like done like European album style. Like it's such a cool presentation for these. But Shaolin Cowboy is this character you see on the cover, and he just goes through, and it's like hyper violent, like almost to a cartoony level, but the artwork is like realistic looking. Just amazing stuff. This was a series that came out last year, and I believe it ran for 7 issues. So this is the longer of the Shaolin Cowboy series, and I'm super stoked for this. It'll be $24.49, and I hope they reprint some of them because I'm missing volume 3, which they're not listed as volume 1, 2, and 3, and 4. You can pick up any of them and read them. Again, just like that European album style, like it's done where you can pick up any album and pick it up and read it and enjoy it. But I am missing the 3rd hardcover though, so hopefully they reprint that. Darrow, Steve Skrosh do bloody action quite well. Yes, those are both very comparable artists in that same style. I put James Stocco up there too. That does have like that highly detailed, like it looks like they spend a whole week on one page of comics. They put so much detail and so many marks and everything on the page. Usagiojimbo Saga, Volume 8 trade paperback, 2nd edition. This will be $20.99. These are those thick trade paperbacks that collect like 600 pages of comics. It's one of the best deals in comics rate you can get, is that for $20 you can get 600 pages of awesome comics. If you've never read Usagiojimbo before, like read it. Like it's just amazing stuff. It is anthropomorphic comics, so you see like you have a samurai bunny there, and all the characters are animals. But it is telling the story of like Edo era Japan, with this wandering Ronin bunny that's going on these adventures and constantly running into trouble. This collects issues 139 through 158, plus a little bit more. And these are the same exact content as those hardcovers. So if you've seen those hardcovers that are like super out of print because there's limited run, these trade paperbacks are the same trim size. Those hardcovers are not oversized. Same trim size, same content. So don't like hang yourself up on needing those hardcovers. Like this, I have these paperbacks. This is the way I collect Usagi, and I don't feel like I'm missing anything. If they were to reprint those hardcovers in a less scarce format, I might upgrade, but I'm not going to spend hundreds of dollars trying to collect them all. Clash of the Guards. This is a Rebellion 2000 AD series. War comics that Clash of the Guards was a strip that came out in the Battle magazine. Alan Hebden is the writer, and then Cam Kennedy and Ron Tyner are the artists. And it is World War II adventures. Several one-off battle strips illustrated by Cam Kennedy. It'll be $19.99. It's a trade paperback. Syndicate of Crime versus Crook from Space. Jerry Siegel's trade paperback. Jerry Siegel's the writer. Artist is Reg Bunn. $19.20 will be the price on this if you order through CGN. Another 2000 AD book. Alvar Mayer, Volume 3, The Three Deaths of Alvar Mayer hardcover. I'm not familiar with this. This is Epicenter Comics. Carlos Trio is the writer. The artist is Enrique Brescia. It'll be 1919 for this hardcover if you order through CGN. Alvar Mayer gets a glimpse of his future at his last moments. Perhaps he does not know which one of the three ends the fate he has prepared for himself. It is titled The Three Deaths of Alvar Mayer, so I'm assuming this is the last book. If anybody knows anything about this, let me know. Rick and Morty, Crisis on C-137 trade paperback. That'd be 1874 for this. Stephanie Phillips is the writer and Ryan Lee is the artist. I know these Rick and Morty comics are really popular. Like, obviously the cartoon series is super popular, but the comics are also have their own following. Lazarus Planet. This is the DC Comics standard size hardcover. The main writer on this series, I think, was Mark Waid. But you also have Philip Kennedy Johnson, Leah Williams, Nicole Maines, and Greg Pak credited. Spinning out of the pages of Batman vs. Robin comes an event that changes the DCU forever. Lazarus Planet. It includes all the Lazarus Planets series. So Alpha, Assault on Krypton, We Once Were Gods, Legends Reborn, Next Evolution, Dark Fate, and Omega. It'll be $17.99. My Little Pony Omnibus Volume 8 trade paperback. $17.49 for this. And this is the 8th volume. And I think these are like thicker trades too. But I believe they are standard size. And it includes the issues 89 through 102. So it's got about 13 issues in there. And the annual. So about 14 issues. Flung Out of Space graphic novel. $15.19 if you order through CGN. This is by Abrams Comic Arts. The aforementioned that was doing the Simpsons book I talked about earlier. Grace Ellis is the writer, and the artist is Hannah Templer. Flung Out of Space is both a love letter to the essential lesbian novel, The Price of Salt, and an examination of its notorious author, Patricia Highsmith. Veteran comics creator Grace Ellis and Hannah Templer have teamed up to tell the story through Highsmith's eyes. All right. Damn Them All Volume 1 trade paperback from Boom Studios. Simon Spurrier is the writer, and then Charlie Adler is the artist. Okay. So Cy Spurrier is the guy that's writing Flash now, and Charlie Adler's, you know him from The Walking Dead. After the death of Ellie's uncle Alfie, an infamous magician and occult detective, the 72 devils of the Ars Goetia are mysteriously freed from their infernal realm. It's now up to her to track down each of these demons and damn them right back to hell using holy water, conjuration, or her trusty, rusty claw hammer. So it looks like to be a fun horror series. Plush trade paperback. This is by Image Comics, Doug Wagner and Daniel Hilliard. Serial killing cannibalistic furries. Plastic and vinyl creators Doug Wagner and Daniel Hilliard are back. This time they've recruited colorist extraordinaire Rico Renzi for the disturbing neon horror spin on fursuit psychopaths and bizarre love. All right. Here's the premise. Devin Fulcher is coerced into attending his first furry convention when he accidentally happens upon a group of furries devouring a human. The insanity begins. Do they just want Devin for dinner, or something more, much more wicked? Plush 1 through 6. All right. That is a heck of a premise there. Ambassadors Volume 1. This is by Image Comics. This is a Mark Miller series. Artwork on here by Frank Quietly, Travis Charis, and Olivier Copiel, Matteo Scalera. Wow, those are 4 artists I really enjoy. $13.99 for this. And it is Volume 1. You've cracked the superhuman mystery, and you can give superpowers to 6 different people around the world. Who do you choose? The world's greatest, most ambitious superhero comic needs the world's greatest comic book artists. All right. Ambassadors. Oh, we have some. Okay, so Plush was dope. Really? Okay. I'm going to read that. I love comics that have wacky premises like that. Ambassadors, loved it. Must buy comics. Okay. So Low Hit has put a stamp of approval on ambassadors and plush, which shows the wide range of comics that Low Hit loves. Those seem like very different comics, which I like that. I like comic book fans that have a wide range of tastes. Dark Horse is putting out Us, the trade paperback from Sarah Solar. $13.99 for this. Sarah and Diana's love story, as well as the story of Diana's gender transition. Full of humor, heartache, and the everyday triumphs and struggles of identity, this graphic memoir speaks to changing conceptions of the world, as well as the self, at the same time revealing some things don't really have to change. Written, drawn, and colored by Sarah Solar. Oh, and this is the English translation. Nice. Attack on Titan Omnibus Volume 12. This is $12.59 for this. And there's 600 pages in here. Collects volumes 33 and 34. And they are the new giant-sized... This is 3-in-1 omnibuses, but it says it only collects 33 and 34. I don't know. I feel like the description there might be a little off. But Attack on Titan. You know, if you're looking for Attack on Titan omnibuses, you know what that includes. Iron Man, The Invincible Iron Man by Jerry Duggan. Demon in the Armor, $11.99. I love that the title there's a play on Demon in the bottle, of course. This includes issues 1 through 6, the 2022 series. Hexware Volume 1. This is the Tim Seeley series for Image Comics with Zulema Lavina as the artist. Why sell your soul when you can buy a new one? In a corporate-ruled city where class inequality is greater than ever, a desperate, lonely populace is drawn to neo-spiritualism and hedge magic. I was going to say, the cover there in the title makes it look like it's like witches with technology. Zulema Lavina is the artist on Little Mermaid and Red Sonja. And collects Hexware 1 through 6. Miller Guy, read it all. Read it all. Yes, I know you're a big fan of Mark Miller. I need to read more of his indie stuff. That's a big hole in my reading, is Mark Miller indie stuff. Wind, Volume 3, trade paperback by James Tinian in Michael Dialinas. And this includes... It's the third volume. I don't know what it includes. But Wind is a series that I also want to read. It's getting a lot of praise. Avengers, War Across Time trade paperback. This is the Paul Levitz, Alan Davis series, which was a huge deal. It collects issues 1 through 5, which I think must be the whole series. But Paul Levitz, who never wrote a single issue of Marvel, I believe, before this, but he's been with DC Comics for like 40 years. And then he came back with Alan Davis, of all people, coming back to doing interior artwork. So that combination alone makes you want to read this, but it'll be $10.79 for this. Paul Levitz, I'm a huge fan of his DC work, so it's exciting to see him work in Marvel. But You Have Friends graphic novel by IDW Publishing. Amelia McKinsey is the writer and artist. This will be $10.49 if you order through CGN. When a dear friend commits suicide, her survivors are left with only memories. This poignant graphic memoir is a moving exploration of friendship despite challenges and love despite grief. All right, so it's a graphic memoir, and it sounds like a really heavy story there. Batman, Volume 3, Ghost Stories. This is the James Tinian run from 2020 with Gillian March and James Stokoe as the artist. Whoa, James Stokoe doing Batman? How did I not know he did that? I love James Stokoe. I'll buy anything he does. But it collects Detective Comics 1027 and also Batman 101 through 105 and Batman Annual number 5. I wonder if Stokoe did the story that's in that annual then. Vixen NYC Volume 1 trade paperback. This is by Jasmine Walls. Haley Stewart, Manu Azumi, and Toby Fawn are the artists. This is by DC Comics. Oh, this is the webcomic. This is a webcomic on Webtoon, which is really cool. DC, they're putting out a lot of manga this year, and then they're also publishing and printing in physical editions these comics they've been doing on Webtoons. So I love that DC is branching out into these other formats and places to grab new audience people or new people into their audience. It's really smart business, I believe, because webtoons and manga are killing it in comics right now. So the fact that DC is doing something involving that to hopefully bring more fans into their mainline stuff, I'm all about that. This is another webtoons comic right here. Batman Wayne Family Adventures Volume 1. CRC Payne is the writer. And then the artists are Starbite, Maria Lee, Lanma, and Gene Kim. It'll be $8.99 for this, and it collects the first 25 episodes of Webtoon's Eisner-nominated series, optimized for a brand new reading experience in print. I do wonder if those are going to be like graphic novel sized. I don't know. And last but not least, we have Thor. Does this collect the whole series? I've been wanting to read this for a really long time. This is Thor the Mighty Avenger, written by Roger Langridge, who I'm a huge fan of from doing Fred the Clown. And also he did the Muppets Marvel comics and the Muppets Omnibus that people probably have heard of, which is a super underrated omnibus. I love that omnibus. I think it's like a bad rap because people found it at all these for like $8 and stuff, but like those comics are so fun. So Roger Langridge is also an artist as well as a writer. He also he also drew a lot of the recent Goon comic books that Eric Powell was only writing and then having Roger Langridge draw. This one, though, is this Thor series is drawn by Chris Samney. So this is going to be $8.39 for this. It includes Thor the Mighty Avenger 1 through 8 in the Free Comic Book Day 2011. But I've heard like nothing but great things about this series. It's Thor as you've never seen it before. Eisner and Harvey Award nominated writer Roger Langridge and artist Chris Samney reimagine the God of Thunder. Yeah, this must be the whole series. But this is like super out of print before, so they're bringing it back into print. But I want to read it. I've heard nothing but good things, and I love both those creators. So that'll be $8.39. I'll stop sharing my screen. And that's it for the week. As I get through my plugs here, feel free to type any questions or comments or anything. I'll do my plugs, and then I'll address anything before I get out of here. Make sure you sign up for our weekly newsletter. Subscribe to that. That comes out every Monday afternoon. Nice price on that Thor. I agree. I do think it's graphic novel sized based on that price. I think it had a complete collection before that. But I agree though. And I don't mind that it's digest sized because I think my son might enjoy it too. I think it's supposed to be all ages. So him and I might read it together. But yeah, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to the newsletter that comes out every Monday. And also you want to subscribe because we send out email blasts whenever there's a new sale going on or that kind of thing. Follow us on social media at Twitter and Instagram at CheapGN. You can follow us on Facebook. Type the search for Cheap Graphic Novels in the search bar there. Give this video a thumbs up. I'd appreciate that greatly. And subscribe if you haven't already. We're getting closer to 300 subscribers, which is super exciting. I've been working hard to try to build this YouTube channel for over 6 months now, I guess. And we're almost to 300 subscribers, so that's really cool. Thank you guys all for joining me. I really appreciate it. I love having a chat. I love talking to you guys about comics. Love showing off the comics that we're going to have on sale. All the comics we showed off today will be on sale Monday evening, August 7th. So everyone have a great week and read more comics.